All right, today we are diving into two super useful, but yeah, kind of tricky English tenses, the future perfect and the future continuous. Seriously, getting the hang of these is going to make your English sound so much more precise and fluent. It's all about knowing the difference between an action that will have finished and one that will be happening. Let's get into it.
So, let me just ask you, how do you usually talk about the future? I bet most of the time you use will or going to, right? And that's totally fine for most situations. But what about when you need to get a little more specific? Yeah, that's where things can get a little tricky. If you've ever found yourself pausing, wondering which future tense to use, you are definitely not alone. But hey, don't you worry, because we're about to make it all crystal clear. Here's our game plan. First, we'll look at why everyone gets confused. Then, we'll build the tenses from the ground up. After that, we'll get to that big aha moment, the key difference. Then we'll see how they work in the real world, and we'll wrap up by showing you how this all leads to speaking with way more precision. Okay, first up, let's just tackle the confusion head on. Why are these two tenses such a headache for so many people? By acknowledging the challenge, we can finally demystify the future perfect and the future continuous for good.
All right, let's open up our grammar toolkit. Before we can really get the difference between these tenses, we got to know how they're put together. It all starts with the right formula.
First, we have the future perfect, and the most important word here is completed. This tense is all about an action that will be finished before some specific point in the future. It's kind of like you're standing in the future looking back at something that's already done.
And look, the formula is actually pretty simple. It's just will have plus the past participle of the verb. Check out the examples. By 2030, the discovery is over. It's done. By next Tuesday, the project is complete. See? The action is finished.
Okay, now for the other side of the coin, the future continuous. Here, the focus totally shifts from completion to an ongoing action. This tense is all about describing something that will be in progress, happening at a specific moment in the future. The structure for this one is will be plus the ing form of the verb. So tomorrow at 7 p.m., she'll be right in the middle of her dinner. In an hour, I will be in the middle of working. The action is happening right at that moment. Okay, so we've got the tools, we know how to build them. Now, it's time for the aha moment. This is where it all clicks into place. This is the core distinction that's going to clear everything up. So, after seeing how they're built and what they describe, what do you think that key difference really is? Just take a second. Got an idea?
Boom, there it is. It all comes down to this. Future perfect is about completion by a certain time. Future continuous is about an ongoing action at a certain time. That is it. That's the whole secret. One is finished, the other is in progress.
Let's look at this one. By the end of the month, okay, that's our future deadline. And what's happening? The saving is a done deal. It's a completed task. The money is in the bank. That's future perfect.
And now for the contrast. At 5 p.m. today, that's our specific future moment. What's happening right then? The action of learning is in progress. I'm not finished. I'm in the middle of doing it. That's future continuous. See the difference?
All right, let's take this out of the textbook and into the real world. I mean, grammar rules are only helpful if we know how to use them, right? So let's see where these tenses actually pop up.
We're going to check out two everyday situations where picking the right tense is absolutely crucial for being clear. First, in a professional setting, like business planning, and then for something fun, like mapping out a trip.
Okay, so imagine a business meeting. The CEO might say, by Q4, we will have launched the new product. That's a milestone. It's completed. Future perfect. But they could also say, throughout next year, we will be expanding into new markets. That's an ongoing plan. Future continuous.
It's the exact same logic for travel. You could tell your friend, by the time we leave for the airport, I will have booked all the hotels. Those are completed arrangements. But then, to talk about the trip itself, you'd say, this time next week, we will be exploring the streets of Rome, an awesome activity in progress.
So let's get to the payoff. Why bother with all this? Well, mastering this isn't just about grammar. It's about being able to express yourself with so much more precision and a whole lot more confidence.
You know, the biggest mistake people make is just mixing these two up, but there's a super simple trick to avoid it. Always ask yourself this one question. Is my focus on completion or is it on an ongoing action? That one question will guide you to the right answer every single time.
And the benefits here are huge. You're going to be way more accurate, so people will understand exactly what you mean. Your writing becomes more dynamic and interesting, and honestly, you'll just communicate with more clarity and sound more fluent. It's a total win-win.
So there you have it. We've broken it all down. You officially have the tools to talk about the future with amazing precision. So the only question left is, which future are you going to describe first? A goal you will have completed, or an exciting adventure you will be having? The choice is all yours.